All right. Good evening. Yes. All right. The mic is working well today. Good evening. And I'll try not to do so much movements today. All right. Fine. Good evening. If you're just joining the live, so let's alert persons within the community to join. And so if you're just joining this, please exercise some patience. We'll be starting say um the next 10 minutes max. So 10 minutes max will be starting. Thanks for joining. You're welcome to the growth room. Just trying to invite some persons to join. Yes. Um, all right, we'll be starting soon. Pretty much excited about today's class. We're going to be talking about cash flow quadrants. Yeah, so we should talk about cash flow quadrants today. All right, broadcast message. Okay, sends to these guys and sends to these guys too. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Also, we're starting. Just trying to inform persons that this is holding. All right. We're about to start. And finally, last post, then we can get started. Um, and okay. All right. So, Good evening, everyone. So, if you're just joining us, my name is Mark Onoja, and you are welcome to the Growth Room. Right, the Growth Room is Mark Onoja. So, the Growth Room is a uh, weekly webinar hold every Thursday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. GMT plus one West Africa time, where I share with persons on how to start to grow and scale their business. Now, the whole idea of the growth room is that when you come, you attend the growth room. When you leave, you will get simple, applicable tips on how to grow your business. Like I said, the word simple and applicable, something that is very simple and something you can apply immediately and to help your business grow. So, today we are going to be talking about the cash flow quadrant. The cash flow quadrant was popularized by Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it's an interesting stuff that we business owners we need to know. So if you're a startup and a small business owner, this is for you. So if you're watching this replay of the live, so you need to stick to the end. But if you're not watching the replay of the live on your live, please stick to the end also too. So as you're joining, kindly post where you are joining in from. So my name is Mark Onoja. I'm joining in from Lagos, Nigeria, so that and also get to post what you do, your business name, and perhaps maybe your Instagram handle, or you have like a LinkedIn page that people can access you, or something like a Facebook page or a YouTube page, a YouTube channel. Just basically something that you use very well. So, welcome everyone. Just post where you're calling in from and where you're joining in from so that other persons can know. So, my name is Mark. I'm joining in from live from Lagos, Nigeria. I I'm an entrepreneur. I run the startup place with my dad, and this is the link to access our website. So, things like that will basically help. So, let's get started for today. I don't like to take time too much, so let's get started. So today we are learning about cash flow quadrants. Now, cash flow quadrant was being popularized by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, yeah, sorry, a bit of a glitch with network. So Robert Kiyosaki came up with the idea that when it comes to making money and when it comes, my network is unstable. Wow, my network is unstable. My network cannot be unstable. The internet is very good. Yeah. All right, fine. So I think we're back. Sorry, I just had a little bit of glitch with network. Okay, fine. So let's continue. So according to Robert Kiyosaki and using the cash flow quadrant, there are four levels of income. So there are four levels at which people basically make money. And it is thing called the existence. So the first quadrant has to do with the employee. The second one has to do with the um, self-employed. Then we have the business one, and then we have the investor. So it means that how you make money right now means that you're either working for someone as an employee, or you have something you do as a professional, or you run a business as a professional, and it's a self-employed stuff, like you are a one-man business owner that you just provide services for people, and you are being called a self-employed person, or you decided to create systems and structures so that you can actually get to employ people, create systems, build a business that gets to grow and scale. Now you're called a business owner because you are not necessarily 100% needed for the business to work, or you invest in businesses, so you do investment in businesses, so you are called an investor. Now, if you basically want to grow your income, scale your income as a business person, you need to understand these four areas of income, and you need to play within these four areas. So the whole idea about today's class is that I want to teach you on how to play within these four areas, how to play as an employee and as a self-employed person, and also as a business owner, and finally as an investor. So we're just going to take them one after the other. Then I will tell you on how you get to play as a business owner there. So if you run a business, this is for you, or if you start up a small business owner, so this is for you. And and you would need it to actually scale your business and run your business, and of course have a very run a very profitable business. And at the end of today, I'm also going to share on my sales challenge coming up. So I have a sales challenge coming up sometimes on, I think we're going to be starting on the 13th of August of July. So I'm going to be sharing it and also going to share the link at the end of the day so that you can get to join the sales challenge. So let's start with the cash flow quadrant. So like I said, the cash flow quadrant talks about how we make or how we earn money as individuals, right? And basically the first one talks about employee. So an employee talks about someone that exchange time for money. So someone that is skillful, is employed in an organization as a staff, and the person goes there, exchanges time and his value to be paid at the end of the day. So that is, if you do that, you're an employee. Normally, people call it 9 to 5. Some people call it 9 to 5. Some people call it white collar. So yeah, mostly the white collar guys, they call it the white collar job. Or you just basically have a job. All you just basically do is that you work in an organization, you are being employed as a staff in an organization. Now you are given some specific tasks to do. You're given KPIs, right? And at the end of the day, you get to exchange of value. So you add to the growth of the organization to bringing in value. And at the end of the day, you are paid, right? You get salary at the end of the day. So as a business owner, one of the first things you need to know is that you are the first and you are the major employee of your organization. So let me repeat myself. As a business owner, the first thing you need to know is that you are the first and you are the major person that is being employed in your organization. You have the first staff, right? So let me repeat myself. As a business owner, you are the first staff. It's not that you're just business owner. So from the onset, you are being employed by that business, right? So you actually work for that business. So the first way you earn money in as an entrepreneur, you earn money as an employee. You are being employed for your organization. Because if you go back, every business, every organization is a legal entity that exists on its own, right? Can sue and be sued. If you go to the basic part of formation of business, right? So you need to position yourself and tell yourself that number one, I am being employed in my organization. That is the first part. You are being employed in your organization. You're an employee first. Why? Because number one, you are supposed to work too. In growing the business, you work, right? In making the business sustainable, you work. In scaling it, work. You work. In starting the business, you work. So you work most times, right? Even when you even move from the business to do other stuff, you still attend board meetings, you still get to work. So the first part is that you are an employee. Your work routine and your work task changes over time. As your business grow, all of those things changes over time. So, but you need to understand first is that you are an employee of that's your business. So the first place you earn money, right, as a business owner is that you are an employee of where you work, of your organization. You're an employee. So you need to see yourself as an employee too. So being said that, a lot of the benefits that you amass or you account to your employees, you need to also subscribe to some of those benefits too. A lot of the demands you make on your employees, you also need to have those demands for yourself too. Why? Because you are an employee. So you don't have to just put that stuff in your mind. The more you understand that, the better. So in the cash flow quadrant, is that the first thing is that you are in the top left part, which has to do with employee. You are first an employee. So you should have job description, you should have KPIs, you should have a time you resume, and you should have a time you close. Hypothetically, as an employee, so looking at yourself as an employee, you should have a time you resume and you should have a time you close. So you should come to work too with the mind that I am coming to contribute towards the growth of this business. Not that I'm just coming to come and sit down and lounge and people are working for me. No, 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 no. That's fine. That is not fine. Right? I take back my word. That is not fine. You need to understand that you're an employee and the business needs to grow because of you came into the business, right? So you are working for your business and you are being paid for working for your business. You may be paid salary if your business starts growing. You may be paid commission. You may be paid profit sharing. Whatever way you are being paid. So you need to see yourself first as an employee. So for your business to grow, you are first an employee using the cash flow quadrant. Now, when we're done with that cash flow quadrant as being an employee first, is that the next thing you need to say yourself is that you are self-employed. So it means that you and your business is one, right? And you are self-employed, meaning you are not working for someone else, you are working for yourself. So your business is and you guys are one. Yes, there is no difference actually between you and your business, whether you like it or not. That is also true. So Dangote and Dangote business, Dangote is still the same thing, right? So you may try as much as possible to separate it through legal stuff, but we all know, and you too know that your business and you guys are one and the same, right? So the more you grow, the more your business grows, right? So it's not basically about what you do, it's basically about who you are. So as you grow, your business grows. So yeah, we have some persons that are joining us. Thank you for joining the live. Appreciate your ear. So on the comment section, type out your name, where you're joining from, what business do you do, and if you want to drop your IG handle or your LinkedIn handle or your Facebook handle or your website, you can basically drop it so that when other persons watch it later on, of course, they can see, connect with you, and of course, get to do business with you. So you're welcome to the growth room. If you're not joining us for the first time, the growth room is a live night hold every Thursday within the hours of 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. GMT plus one West Africa time, where basically I run people on how to actually start to grow and scale their business. The whole idea about the growth room is that when you join the growth room, when you are leaving the growth room, you will get an idea or an insight or a new tip on how you can apply it to your business and you will see growth, and it's going to come very instant. So just attending the growth room, you just know that practically your business would grow. So welcome. So let's get to continue. So today we're talking about how you can apply the cash flow quadrant to your business growth. Now, we first talked about employee, that you are first an employee. So the second part of the cash flow quadrant is called the self-employed person, right? It's normally in the bottom left. Now, in that self-employed stuff, one of the things you need to understand is that number one, you and your business, you guys are one and the same. Yeah, legally, you guys are not one, but trust me, you and your business, you guys are one and the same. Meaning that, right? Let me say this word, meaning that as your business grows, as you grow, your business grows. So just put that one in mind. That as my business grows, I grow. Um, it's not basically about what you do, it's basically about who you are. So as your business grows, as you grow as a person, your business basically grows. So if you want to basically do business very well and utilize the cash flow quadrant, you need to ask yourself, I am self-employed. One. Number two, me and my business were one and the same. Two, it means that as I grow as a person, as my leadership skill grow, as my management skill grow, as my competence and capacity grows, as I learn how to handle crisis, risk management, do better financial structuring, as I grow as a person, my business will grow. Now, if you don't understand that, chances are your business is not really going to work and grow. So you need to know that as I grow as a person, my business gets to grow. Now, one of the things about self-employed persons is that anytime they die, the business dies. Well, that should be different from you if utilizing it, meaning that you need to position yourself in such a way that even when you're not around, your business basically gets to work. Right. So you should start building yourself that at a point in your business, you should have what they call a successor. So somebody that basically would come in you, succeed you in carrying out your business to the next level. So then, thirdly, 15 to know when it comes to using the self-employed part is that you need to understand that as a self-employed person, right, your time is very important. You mostly don't have time as an entrepreneur, and your time is the most valuable resources you have, right? A normal self-employed person is always pressed for time because they know that anybody that steals the time has started stealing their business. For a proper business owner, the guy can decide to shut himself up for a whole week and not come to do business. Why? Because he already have people that can be able to do stuff for him. It's not the same thing as a self-employed person. So you need to start asking yourself, okay, now I'm a self-employed person. How do I make use of my time? My time is premium. My time is very valuable. My time is the most valuable resource I have. And how do I utilize my time to grow my business? So, in looking at your business and looking at yourself from the self-employed person, you and your business is one. You are employed by your organization as the employee. You and your business is one in a self-employed scenario. Number two is that you need to start looking at your business on how you can be able to create a sustainable plan where people can grow into your organization and take over from you when you grow old. But the last one is that for um a normal typical self-employed person always gets to have this issue with time, because the time they are sick, the business cannot go on. If they're not around, nothing happens in the business. So the business just basically works around them. But you can leverage that and say, okay, my time is very precious and important to me. How do I make sure that I can multitask my time? How do I make sure that I can do very well with my time? So one of the things I've been doing, I think I shared it in the last YouTube live, that I have started learning how to lock some of the apps on my phone. Right? So some of the apps on my phone, if you're seeing it, they are locked. They are locked, and I don't have only 1 hour to use it per day, and that's just basically it. And I started looking at how I can be able to read and do stuff, right? So your time is very, very valuable to you because of you are also self-employed. You are your own employer. So you are employed, but of course, I know people normally say the customers employ you. The answer is no, right? You employed yourself. The customers did not employ you, because the time a customer leaves you, it means that you have been sacked. But no, your business thing goes on even when customers leave. So I'm not saying you should not take care of your customer, take care of your customer, but I'm just saying is that you are your employer, right? So, and you need to basically note that and work from that perspective. Now, the third area, which have to do with the business owner. So, as a business owner, is the other part of the cash flow quadrant, right? And as a business owner, what a business owner basically does is that it comes up, is a proper entrepreneur. So the person comes up with an idea, builds a business, then creates processes, hire people that can actually man processes to run the business, hire people that can man these processes. So from the back end, the person just does what they just call leadership and senior management. Every other normal technical stuff and operational stuff is being done by someone else, right? So let me repeat myself. The idea about a business owner is that the person creates systems and a person hires people that work in that system to ensure that his business delivers value to target markets, to his customers, while he works on the back end to manage those people on the leadership scale. Now, this business owner is very, very important because you need to start learning as a business owner and as an entrepreneur to switch from a solo entrepreneur or a self-employed person to a business owner. It is very sweet and fantastic. I was just thinking about it today. I went for a program and I went to teach. I went to teach in a program and I had to teach for like 2 hours. I had to sit down there to wait for the end because they were using my slide pointer. And I was just thinking that, wow, 2 years or 3 years ago, I went for a program one certain time. I was supposed to go for a training, and in the training was for 1 week. It was for 2 weeks. We were lodged in a hotel for 5 days. You go home, come back another 5 days, like 6 days. We were lodged in the hotel. It was crazy because I was only coming out to come and pick up calls, pick up calls, pick up calls. Because of I went for that program, I lost a very important client. Yeah, I lost a very important class and a very good contact. And I didn't even enjoy the program because I was mostly running out to go and pick calls. I was sitting at the back close to the door because I have to go out to pick call. All right, I was at the program, I was lounging. I decided the kind of calls I was going to take today, and I decided the kind of calls I was going to make. And because what was just the difference? I had created a system that works, and I have people that are competent and are triggering them to man the system that makes it work. So one of the things you need to understand in this cash flow quadrant stuff is that you need to switch, I beg you, from a self-employed person to be a business owner. It doesn't just happen. It first starts with a mindset, right? Because I think I was talking to someone today, and she said that she 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 package foods and sell, right? So all these guys are package food, package curry thyme, package gari, package different stuff, right? Package different stuff and sell. Package just different stuff, spices and sell. And I was talking to her, I was like, oh, well, as regards to basically growing her business and stuff. And she was like, oh, she basically likes her business. She likes to do this, that, and stuff. I said, well, as a business owner, as your business gets to grow, you have to leave production and focus on marketing and customer management and service strategy to grow. She was like, no, that this is, I just asked her one question. I said, do you want to run a business or you just want a side gig, something you can just be doing as a self-employed person? And she said she wants to run a business that can scale and grow. And I say, if you want to run a business that can scale and grow, you can't be handling production. It's not a valuable, it's not a good use of your time. And that is just the truth. And I was telling an example of the Gucci, the Prada, and stuff. I watched a video online, a documentary online, and the Gucci clothes and the Prada and all of those clothes, they were made in Bangladesh, India, Bangladesh. That's where they make, one of the poorest countries. Well, that's where they make it. They do the production there, but then they focus on marketing and brand awareness and stuff, and they are making some tons of money. Why? Because of their thinking like business people, like they're thinking like a business owner. They create systems and I have people to man those systems. They have a good product, they create systems around the product, and they have people to man those systems. So one of the things you need to understand, and if you basically want to grow as a business, is that you need to create systems and you need to have people that will man your systems, right? So you need to start thinking systems from the onset. Think about how can my business functions and run without me being there, or without me necessarily being there, right? There's some customers I've not spoken to. Yes, but it's a risk, but just do it, because with that you will grow, right? So you need to do that. So you need to ask yourself, what are the things that currently work in my business? How do I create a system around it? And how do I hire people to man that system? If you do that, then your business can grow. So in being a business owner, you need to start thinking about that. So you need to start thinking about your business. How do you create systems around your products and services? And how do you have people that can man those systems, competent hands that can man those systems? That's one. That is thinking about as a business owner. Now, the second thing you need to also get to do is that you need to ask yourself, how do I get to ensure? So you need to ask yourself, how do I get to ensure that I am building? So when it comes to business, right? When it comes to business, yeah, the thought has come. So when it comes to running a business, is that there are three levels, right? There is the technician, there is the manager, and there's the entrepreneur. Now, if you come to a business as a business owner, right? If you run a business as a business owner, you're in that third part of the quadrant, top right. One of the things you'll notice is that you are now an entrepreneur. So you need to start having managers and technicians. So in having managers and technicians, it's like quote unquote creating like a structure within your business, a structure as regards to reporting, a structure as regards to leadership. Meaning that you can't do everything. Information passing through you, not all informations to get to you, quote unquote, to make all the decisions. So some decisions can be made, some lower level of decisions can be made by lower cadres of persons. You cannot be too bothered about production. Yeah, if you basically want to scale and grow as a business person, that's just the truth. You cannot be 100% bothered about production. Of course, I know the quality control part has to be all, make sure that it is fine, but you cannot be over too bothered about it. There are other things that you can make do use of your time, right? So one of the things you should do is that you should create a management system in place. You have technicians, you have managers, and you have entrepreneurs. So we've created systems and you have brought people in. The people you have brought in, there are different levels. There are the managers, there's the technicians. So the technicians talks about people that do things every day to ensure that your business gets to grow. So who are the people that do things every day? The operational stuff, right? I do your production, I do your packaging, I run around to create content for you. Respond to DMs. Those are technicians, right? I create stuff for you, right? I create documents for you. I take care of the office, I clean the office. Those are technicians, right? Yeah. Then we have the managers, and the managers are people that create systems and structures to ensure that the technicians get to work and come up with management systems to just ensure that they are properly managed. And in you doing that, what you just basically have to do is that you need to just start learning how to have managers. So each core areas of your business should have a manager. There should be somebody that is managing your marketing. There should be somebody managing your operations. There should be somebody managing your production. There should be somebody managing your admin, your HR, your finance, right? It can be you at the start, but as your business grows over time, you need to get people up to that level where they can be able to manage this stuff for you. If you really want to grow and scale, and that is just basically the truth. If you really don't want to grow, this class is not meant for you. All right, fine. So that is the second way. So the first way is that you need to look at your business in the sense of creating systems and having people to work in that system. Then the people coming in, the second way is that these people coming in, you need to ensure that these persons are being shared in three levels. You are the entrepreneur, you're on top, you are the one taking risks, you're the one doing all of the big stuff of talking to big strategic customers, finding the direction at which your business should go to. That's fine. But you have to get managers, you have to get technicians. So it's on you to get that. You need to hire, you need to learn that skill of hiring and of course firing. But that skill of hiring technicians is on you. Now, after being said that, then we then have the final part in the looking at you from the business as a business manager and as a business owner in the top right part of the cash flow quadrant is that you need to determine what direction your business is headed for. So direction is too important for you as a business because I was taking a class today and I was trying to teach them on how to grow their business, right? How to basically grow and scale. And I told them that one of the first thing you need to do when it comes to growing and scaling is that you need to first ask yourself, why am I as a business? Where am I headed to? You need to consistently answer those questions over time. Because as the entrepreneur, you're a leader. You're actually leading the business and leading people based on the vision you have seen. In fact, your vision leads you, right? You are being led by a vision. You're first a follower of a vision before you get to lead other persons towards achieving that vision. So, where do you want your business to head to, right? So, you need to be clear cut about it. So, a normal business owner has a vision. A normal self-employed person, the only vision is that I just want to do something that can be able to pay my bills. You should stop thinking that. So I was telling somebody today, the same lady I was speaking to, I told her that say I want my business in my own lifetime to be in the major continent of the world. The startup place will be in the major continent of the world. It's a big vision and a big dream I have, and we're building towards achieving that. For you, as a business owner, you need to be clear as regards to what vision you are trying to achieve. So the third level is creating that vision and creating that mission that will guide your organization, the vision and the mission that should guide your organization, meaning where are we headed for? And be very clear about it and drive the entire organization and the entire resources you have towards achieving that vision. So it's as important as that. How do we drive the entire organization towards achieving this vision and this goal that is before us? So that is the third level. Then the last final one is to put culture and systems in place. So when it comes to running a business and it comes to operating from as a business owner, for every of the businesses you manage, you have to determine and define what culture you want to allow within that business. So it's very important to do that because according to Peter Drucker, the father of management, he said that management and organizational leadership, he said that culture is strategy for breakfast. And it's a strong statement because I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I am in Nigeria. And one of the things I notice sometimes in Lagos, that the government just comes up with something, clean Lagos, right? Right? The government's right. Come up with own stuff and clean Lagos. And I was talking to people in class today and I told them that when a normal African, a normal Nigeria, when you take water, you eat something, the next thing that comes to your mind is to throw it out of the window of your car or just throw it out. It's a culture stuff. So instead of putting waste bins around, spending billions, creating all of those waste bins and putting up and down, it won't solve our cleanliness, our dirtiness problem, right? Good. Clearing the gutters will not solve it. The first way to solve it is that we need to go back and create a culture of neatness. Yeah, that is it. So if you want your business to succeed, first level is to say, okay, now if my business wants to succeed, I have to start thinking of systems, right? I have to start thinking of people to man my systems. My systems have to be built around my product. That's first level. Second level is that the people that are coming in, I have to build three levels. I'm the entrepreneur, but I have to get managers that manages technicians. People that do everyday work are called technicians. Managers are like the supervisors, right? Supervising and directing persons. The next one is that I need to determine what direction my business is going to. And how do I lead people that, right? Then we need to define the vision. Where are we headed for in the next 1 year, in the next 6 months, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years? Please don't more than 5 years because AI is disrupting tough. And we don't know whether another pandemic is going to come, but God forbid, but who knows? Another one may come up, right? So pandemic has changed a lot of things. You kind of set 10-year goal plan. It's too long a time. So you need to do shorter long-term goals now. But Finally, is culture eating strategy for breakfast. So you need to set up the kind of culture you need in your organization, and that is determined by you. As a business owner, everybody should know that you resume first. Yeah, yeah, that is just the truth. Everybody should know that you are working, right? You may not be working around the clock, but you are working. So everybody should just know that you are actively involved in the progress of the business. You are out there looking for customers. You are out there pushing for your business to grow. If your employee find out that you are a lazy person, they will get lazy, and that is just the truth. If they know that you are a hardworking person and they are lazy, the system will eject them. So you need to determine what kind of culture you want to see in your organization. Sorry, let me drink water. So that is determined by you. What kind of culture do you want to see in your organization? What kind of beliefs, right? So to me, I love Africa. I love Nigeria. I'm Nigeria because, of course, apart from being led to be in Nigeria by God, I love Nigeria because it's my country. And I love Nigeria because we have a lot of problems in the country and we can solve those problems as entrepreneurs. But I normally tell people, infrastructure wise, it's going to take a lot of time for Nigeria to get it right. Why? Because our culture doesn't support that. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I go to some places in Lagos, and my wife always, you see me always complain. In fact, I want to even change my car right now because of using a sedan, a low car in Lagos is trash. You are in trouble. You need to get SUV. So my wife always used to tell me, she don't be laughing at me. I'll be complaining about the road. You're passing here, the road is bad. But one second, I just looked at it. I was like, look at everybody that is here. They are fine with the road. It's a culture stuff. So infrastructure development is not part of our culture. That's why when you see roads are being built, within 6 months, the roads are spoiled. It's not part of our culture. If it was part of our culture, we will have constant light. We will have roads. I'm using inverter right now. So back to it. So you need to determine what kind of culture you want in your business, right? You need to be very, very intentional about building that culture of integrity, right? Culture of work. Because one of my staff, we're talking about something that we did an incubation. We are not made up with timeline, and we're just having a discussion. I was like, should we do this? I just said no, we don't do that here. So it's just basically telling her that we have integrity. I rather we're not paid, we don't meet up with it than stuff. Yesterday, I was talking to a client and they wanted us to do some business documentation for them, do some business plan and some other stuff for them. And I was like, okay, no problem. So, and they said they want to see some examples of business plan we've done before. I said, thank you very much. We can't do that. I said, I'd rather let the job go because part of our integrity and signing NDA with our clients is that if we do something for you, another person would not know. We don't share it out. We will hardly talk about our customers online because whether we sign NDA with them or not, we have to keep the secrets, right? So it's a culture I am actively and intentionally building. So anybody that comes knows integrity is here. We work, all of us, we work hard, we work Saturdays. So it's just part of it, right? Then finally, the investor, right? So we talked about cash flow quadrant. First part being the employee, second part being the self-employed, third part being the business owner, and lastly has to do with the investor. So thirdly or lastly, fourthly, you need to see yourself as an investor, right? Apart from seeing yourself as an employee of your business, of your vision, and seeing yourself as a self-employed, that you employed yourself. That is just the truth, not a customer. You first employed yourself before you got customers. Then seeing yourself as a business owner that creates systems and employ people to work in that system. You need to see yourself as an investor, meaning that everything that comes into your business must multiply. The people that come to your business should multiply. Every money you put into your business multiply. Any money invested into your business must multiply. That is just basically it. So if you buy a recharge card of 1,000 naira and you're using that recharge card of 1,000 naira should multiply. Anybody that is making any demands within your staff for anything, that money must multiply. If you are investing in a Facebook ad, it must multiply straight up. So don't start saying, oh, we're just putting money. So that's why sometimes I quarrel a lot with a lot of tech startups. They don't like me because I normally tell them that what you guys are doing, let's just be frank about it. You are not really running a business. You are just developing a product and looking for an investor so that you can actually just raise capital and just be in a nice office. You are not running a proper business. You don't understand transactions and sales and stuff. Yeah, I quarrel with a lot of tech startups because I just tell them every investment counts. And some of you don't need investment, you need wisdom, right? So that is a gist for another day, right? So, but you just need to look at your business and look at yourself as an investor. That this business I'm running right now, if I am paying a staff salary, it's an investment. The staff has to produce returns for us. We recently got someone and we're negotiating, and I told her that we can't start getting return on our investment on you till month 3. And that's just the truth. Because we have to take like 3 months to train you. It's on from month 3 we'll do. So I've already budgeted this is the money we'll spend on our thing. She gets good, then we can start getting the return on investment on her. So everybody that comes to work for you is an investment. Your staffs are investments. Your marketing is an investment. In fact, if you are running a Facebook ad and you spend 10K, you should make sure at the end of the day you make that 10K back at the minimum and more. It can be 5 times, it can be 10 times more. But every resources committed into your business is an investment. So you need to see your business and you see yourself as an investor, and you see your business as an investment. The fundamental part of seeing your business as an investment is that when you drop any money anywhere, so normal gist. I grew up, right? My dad, part of the things we did at the side there was farming, right? So when he come back from work, sometimes we go to farm. And I remember then just a seed of corn, it plants on the ground, right? And within 3 months or within 4 months, it has grown and it has formed like 3 or 4 cups, sometimes 4 cups, sometimes 3 cups, minimum 2 cups, right? And 2 cups of corn comes out, and each of those comes, if you count the number of seeds, sometimes 500, 1,000, that's only one seed that's that, right? So you need to look at your business that say, I am planting and my planting is an investment. So, and there's no investor that comes to invest in something and makes it for it to go down. Nah. You invest in things for it to grow. So basically that is it for today. So I don't know if anybody have any question to ask. So if you have any question to ask, you can drop it on the comment section. So that's a simple recap. If you're joining us today, welcome. It's good to have you. This is the Growth Room with Mark Onoja. So every Thursday within the hours of 7 to 8 p.m. GMT +1 West Africa time, I teach people. I run a live on YouTube. We started with a live on I started doing live on Zoom, then I jumped to Google Meet, but there was a day that something happened. So we had to go to YouTube live. So we do YouTube live every Thursday, right? Every Thursday within the hours of 7 to 8 p.m. in the evening, right? West African time. And I just share with you on things that will help you start, grow, or scale your business. I get testimonials every other week of persons that listen to the the growth room live, and how basically it has helped their business so far. So thanks for coming. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. And if not, we just basically call it an end. It's almost 1 hour. Yes, I was going to share this. So I am starting what is called a sales challenge, right? So the idea, I'm going to drop it in the top chart right now, and I'm also going to pin it as a post. So the idea about the sales challenge is that we are going to have 1 week of sales. So it's every week, every day within that week. So it's starting on 13th and it's ending, I think, on 19th or 20th of July. So for 7 full days, we are going to be making sales. It's starting on Sunday. So that's why you have to make sales. So every day we're going to be challenging ourselves to make sales. I'm going to be challenging my own self too to make sales. So every day you're going to be making sales. The person with the highest number of sales, of course, gets a gift. So it's just a simple community I'm going to create. Every day I teach you and I drop one tip you can use in your business to make sales. Because one of the things I've noticed is that every business is powered by sales. You need cash flow for you to basically grow your business. It's very important. You need cash flow. So the more money that comes into your business, the better. So yes, good. I'm going to drop the link right now. So we basically would just have that sales challenge that we basically do so that everybody will get to look at how I'm trying to do that. So it's just distracting me a little bit. Apologies for that. Yeah, so it's a WhatsApp community and it's just for 7 days. After the 7 days, we'll shut it down. right? So it's just a simple WhatsApp community that you can join. When you join the community, we're starting on 13th of July, and every day I'll be dropping one sales tip. You have to sell. That is just basically join the sales challenge. So let me put it well. So challenge. Join the sales challenge. Yeah. So for 1 full week, every day you must make sales. The last time I ran the sales challenge, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was amazing. People really, really made some good amount of sales, but they didn't pay tight, so it's fine. But it's just for your business, how you can power up sales, right? I will share with you good sales tips, sales strategy you can do. Right now, selling is not our issue. It's basically how to grow capacity for us at the startup place and grow very, very big. So that is the same thing I'm going to be sharing with us during the sales challenge on those enabling you to actually get to grow your business and grow your sales. So click on the link, join the sales challenge. And when you join the sales challenge by 13th, by like from 11th to 12, I would have started addressing us. By 13th, we officially start. Every week, every day, I will drop a tip on sales. Some days we can run a Zoom live, or we can run like a Google Meet, or we can just make a call on WhatsApp where I will just share with you, okay, this is what you need to do. If you have any challenge with your sales, you can drop it. So just one focus week on selling, right? Just one focus week on selling. And if we basically do that, it's going to help our business basically grow and get to scale. So I'm not seeing any question in the chat section. So thank you everyone for coming. Um, it was good having you. So the next week we are going to, yes, next week would be our next growth room is going to be on the 10th of course, it's going to be on the 10th of July. And of course, we're going to talk about sales, right? We're going to talk about sales so that we can also use that as a means of getting people for the sales challenge. So thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining. Do enjoy the rest of the week. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to rewatch this again. It's just going, of course, it's going to be live. And I hope you got value today. God bless and do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.